Slayer 710 here, and today I will be starting a new series on my channel, so welcome to the How to Get Good series for World of Tanks Blitz, where I try to give some sort of advice and tips for this game. So, the topic for today's video is Ammorack Positions on tanks. In battle, just knowing this can help you out a lot, because if you're where you can take time to aim, you can either damage or destroy the enemy's ammo rack on almost any tank you run into. First, we will start out with the Russians. For the Russian tanks, their Ammorack positions are strange for the lower tiers, ranging from the floors to the turret rings of tanks. So I wouldn't really recommend trying to hit the Ammoracks of low tier Russian tanks unless you really knew the tank. At tier 8 though, this changed with the T-44 and tier 54 lightweight. For any other T-series tanks, just aim for the front on the side without the driver's hatch, and you are almost guaranteed to hit if not damage the ammo rack or the fuel tank. For Russian heavy tanks, it follows the same path. One day in 1941. Hey Ivan, where do we put the ammo? On the bottom of tanks so it cannot get hit? Comrade, do you not believe in Stonox aluminium? To gulag for you.
Ой, блядь, наша дурь, наша супер дурь.
So, for most Russian heavy tanks, you'll want to shoot the sloping frontal plates, or the sides or rear of the turret to hit the ammo rack. Rest in peace, KV2. For Russian tank destroyers, the layouts vary, but most of the time it's either on the side of the tank's casemate or right behind the gun, or it's on the bottom of the tank hull right behind the gun. So they're not that hard to hit. For Germany, starting at tier 3 with the Großtraktor, it has its ammo rack just under the turret. This trend follows with the following German tanks, with the Dirt Birchwagen, yes I know that's incorrect, and the tier 5 VK30.01H, and the tier 6 VK36.01. Though the ammo racks are a little bit lower down for the Tiger 1 and Tiger P at tier 7, and the VK45.2A and Tiger 2 and Lova at tier 8. Though with the Tiger 2 and Lova, you are better off just shooting the backs of the turrets, because they have bigger ammo racks. At tier 9 and 10, the ammo racks, though sometimes still staying under the turret, move mainly towards the back of the turret. For German medium tanks, they follow the same trend throughout, regardless of the line being either the E50M or the Leopard 1. The two exceptions are the Leopard Prototype and the Leopard 1, which just have their fronts of them as ammo racks. For German TDs, the ammo racks are usually behind the gun, either in the hull for the Grille line, or in the Castamet for the Jagdpanzer E100 line. Before I move over to the next nation, I will go over a very infamous German tank, the Panzer IIJ, and I'll show you how to easily one-shot it.
Ha! Got him! Got him!
For the British, they seem to have the same ideas as the Germans, so for most of the World War II era heavy tanks, they put the ammo rack under and slightly behind the turret. After World War II, they had different ideas about where to put the ammo rack. For instance, on the Conqueror, they put the ammo on front like the Russian, but on the FV, they put it on the hull floor behind the gun. For British medium tanks, when they finally started using their own designs, they put the ammo rack as a buffer between the drivers and the main command module, so just in case the driver got killed, they had a perfectly safe live ammo protecting them from seeing the driver's entrails. For the later Cold War tanks, they removed the bow gunner, so they thought the driver would get lonely, so they gave him a nice ammo rack to keep him company. For their TDs, they kept the ammo in a sensible position. It was behind the gun, so I wouldn't recommend trying to hit the ammo rack on these tanks, but on the Death Star, they must have thrown away the plans to normal ammo rack positions when they threw away the old TD doctrine. The ammo rack is on the back of the turret and is a huge target. I hope with this, people can go out there and show the world that the Death Stars don't own it. For American medium and heavy tanks, they kept their usual loud and proud American personality and didn't hide their ammo racks.
Are you sure about that?
For the Americans, they surprisingly put their ammo racks on their medium and heavy tanks in a sensible place on the bottom of the hull. Though that happens to be where their weak points are. For their TDs, when they had their gotta go fast mode, they kept their ammo racks on the side of their tank or inside their turret, just like the Germans. But when they transferred to super heavy mode, their ammo layouts changed, but they usually stayed near the back of the turret or just behind the gun or on the walls of the tank. For the French, hey, come back here. Their ammo racks are just behind the gun, as most of them are autoloaders. This counts for heavies, mediums, and light tanks. And also, come back! God dang it. Well, fun fact, Germany developed an autoloader for the Tiger II. Make it happen, wargaming. For the Japanese, just like their cities in 1945, their ammo racks are kind of scattered all over the place. Some are in turrets, some are on the bottoms of hulls, and some don't even exist. Also, because the Chinese tanks are all Russian ripoffs, just use the same method of ammo rack finding to find their ammo racks. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and tell me what you think about this series in the comments. Until next time.